Coming at you from Clue News, it's Julia
and Elise.
Off to Future Us. Woo! How many animals do you usually see on the street per average? I'll tell you, there's a lot more than you think. There are hundreds of abandoned animals on the street that eventually starve to death. This is because nobody saves them, but they're the lucky ones. There are even more animals that are abused by their owners. Their owners could feed them and abuse them, or not feed them and still abuse them. And yet the saddest part is none of them get saved. There should be more animal abuse prevention centers because no animal deserves to be abused, especially if they did nothing wrong except provide for their owner.
Okay. This is a letter to the Dream ex-president by Rebecca. If you ever had a pet, he would be your friend, right? A part of your world? Well, not every pet's treated like that once they grow up and become less cute. People abandon them. It's unfair and inhumane. We are their voice. There are more than 1,000 reports of animal abuse each year, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine being bitten to death, having your skin torn off by a friend. That's not so cool, right? Not to mention they get injected with illegal drugs, help them fight and be stronger.
This is a Dear Future President article written by Emily. Many laboratories test animals for drugs, foods, medical training, chemicals, and cosmetic training. These animals can get diseases such as cancer, skin issues, burns, and lung issues. They can also get blinded. 10% of the animals get released into the wild with diseases that can kill them, while the other 90% of animals that are bred in laboratories die either breeding other animals or die testing the products.
There are very few to no animal abuse centers that can take care of the mistreated animals. People will just continue to mistreat their animals and they won't get punished for their crimes. According to letters to president.org, about 1/4 of dogs are mistreated. They're wiped, poisoned, beat, and there are over 1,000 reports, but there has still been no change. And that's just a half-baked information. Reason 2.
Over 1/3 of the United States population are animals that are experimented on in laboratories. These animals involve dogs, cats, frogs, mice, birds, fish, and even pigs. About 11,722 groundhogs and other little critters are killed by being forced to race or made to fight. Over 100 million animals are just killed in the U.S. every year alone.
For the fights, animals are injected with illegal substances to make them stronger. If the animals don't win and survive, they end up being tortured, killed, or even abandoned. In the fights, they make many animals fight against one another. What would it feel like to fight against your friend to the possible death? I don't think that would be something to Conclusion.
Some would say that animals who act badly should deserve to be abused or tested in laboratories. But how would you feel if you were tested in a laboratory because you acted out? There should be more animal care shelters to take care of the neglected and abused animals, as well as animal shelters that make sure to prevent animals from being tested on and forced to fight other animals.
There are very few or no centers for animal abuse that can take care of the animals that have been maltreated. People will just continue to mistreat their animals, and for their crimes, they won't be punished. More than 1/3 of the population of the United States are animals that are examined in laboratories. Dogs, cats, frogs, rats, birds, fish, and pigs are included in these species. In order to make them tougher, pets were injected with illegal substances for the fights. They end up being tortured, killed, or even abandoned if the animals don't win and survive. We all have to come together to help create a better community home for all abandoned, abused, and experimented on animals throughout the USA.
We just want to give a big thank you to the websites above
and below.
Signing out from Clement News.
She's Julia.
And she's... See
See you next time. Bye.
Probably because nobody's been in there for a while.
You can go.
Do you want me to hint?
Sure.
Signing up from Clue News. She's
I'm what, Julia?
You're Julia. You're Julia and I'm Elise.
I don't know. What is my name? And your name?
Want my head, woo.
Don't do that again. Okay. And below.
Signing out from Clue News.
Do you not know?
You're supposed to say she's Julia. You're supposed to say she's Julia. Alright, so we couldn't pull our act together, so you might never see this video. And cut.
We're doing that again.
Let's keep doing it, we can just cut it.
Like
And then we're gonna put it in.
again.
We didn't cut this.
Again.